Why do we fear failure so much? I saw on my last video did, and it has become apparent to me that we will distance ourselves from any talk of failure.
Shut up on that motherfucker. I'm a Niger. I'm a Niger boy.
So I think it has been bred into us since when we were children to just abhor any thought of failure. And it's crazy because, like I said in my last video, I genuinely think that failure is an important part of success. The acknowledgement of failure, the embracing of failure, the those two happen, then you can now find yourself on your way to success. I don't know if I make sense. I feel like maybe because I put too much effort into trying to make that video so good, I think it was overproduced and it might have come across as ingenuine. So I'm not overthinking it anymore. That's why you notice there's less humor in this video.
In the morning, I be ballin', you can underrate me. Casanova, all lady love me. I'm a soldier coming from the ghetto. Me a stubborn, my mama born me. Been a bad boy ever since the get-go. I'm a Niger boy, me I know the job. I'm a Niger boy, me I know the job. I'm a Niger boy.
I don't know. It just occurred to me that it's something that we could talk about. How scared we are of failure. You know, it's apparent in our society. In the grand scheme of things, I think that's why Nigeria has failed a lot. Nigeria as a country, you know. We've existed for almost 110 years as a country before we got our independence in 1960. Since 1914, we have gone through a couple of big losses. You know, we've gone through wars, we've gone through okay, there's been one war, major war, yeah. We've gone through major disputes and protests and all that, and we've not seemed to have learned from those things. I think that's the best way to get our, to bring our mind to the fact that it's true understanding, acknowledging, and just going through the failure. That's where you know how to find the success. Life is a journey, yeah, and in that journey, I feel like failure and successes are stops on the way. So what I mean by that, failure and success is being stopped on the way to um, the afterlife. I don't want to say death. I think that life should not be made about either the failure or the success. I think that's where we get it wrong. Most times, the destination that drives us is success of something. But really, if you think about it, that success is just a stop. It's just life continues the next day after you get that Oscar, after you get that AMVCA, after you get that new dream job or dream house. Life continues the next day, and it's good to have all those things. But I think that failures and successes, when they are seen as what they are, as things to learn from, you should learn from your successes. How did I get this? I think, okay, since I got to this way, all the mistakes I made on the way getting here, all the failures I had on the way getting to this point, this is how I'll make them better. I'll become better. And I think that's what we've really lacked as a country. We've had a lot of disputes, like I said, and we have not learned from them. There have been so many chances for us to say, okay, this is what happened here, this is what went wrong here. we marginalized these people and this is how they reacted, or we did this to this certain tribe, and or whatever happened in the past, it can be applied to the kind of wahala we are going through right now, the kind of trouble we're in right now. But you know, because we are so, it's to the point where I was so shocked. I think it's been brought back right now, but history was removed as a subject in secondary school, and that scared me, because it's like, okay, let's not look at the things that scarred us in the past, and let's focus on what we are going through. Like, if you don't know where you're coming from, how do you know where you're going? So I say all these things to say that it's not that I understand myself to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm a failure and that's it. I just know that when you acknowledge your failures, it does a great deal in your head. When you talk about them, it does a great deal in your head, in, physically, in reality, that you comprehend why you failed at something. And so that when you're taking another try at it, you might just get it right. This video is it's very simple, I guess. Yeah, I think I overthought the last one, my first video. I think I thought too much of it. I've seen a pattern with everything that I kind of failed at. They are mostly things that I overthought, mostly things that I processed and obsessed over. That's why this video is just like, let me just make something, let me just shoot something, and put it out. There's not much thought going into it. I mean, there's some thought, yeah, but it's just not as overproduced as the first one. There's no over the top dramatic sequences like I did in the beginning of the first one. There's no no gimmicks, because I think that it's not really necessary for what I want to talk about. I really did this because, like I said in the first video, I did this for self therapy purposes before I bite my tongue. And I think going through stuff that I feel that watching that video and just reminding myself of these things, it just really puts it in your face that these are your excesses that needs to be checked. I'm not saying everybody should make a YouTube video about all the things they failed at, but I think that if you have these talks with your friends, you can have a video diary or an audio diary, and you just have your thoughts, and you just actually confront and be honest to yourself about all the things that you've flunked. The world might be a better place, because we will just know that we are all flawed and imperfect people trying our best, yeah, and we could do better. I think we will cut each other some slack, I guess.
If your babe slap you in public, what will you do?
Thank God you mentioned my babe, because anyhow lady or girl can do that to me. But if it is my babe is trying to correct me actually.
I mean, if you slap you in public.
Even though she knocked my head in front of her family member.
So I don't know how long this video is right now. However long it is, like I said earlier, I'm no longer overthinking it.
If I dey front to my baby for TV, as I dey waka, they carry a matter for my head. They beg me to no fire catapult.